America. This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
The guys and gals have gone.
And welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. We come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern. That's 9 Pacific. For about an hour, we talk about guns. That was a loud one. It's the 3rd of July. It's episode 602. Little puppy's freaking out because the mortar just went off next door. Come here. You guys hear that one on the microphone?
Oh, yeah.
So got her up. She's concerned, but she's looking around. Anyway, it's what I said, 6:02. It's Tuesday, so it's the day after the 2nd. So we're still going to do Second Amendment stuff because it's Tuesday. We'll be talking about the DRGO, DRGO, the Doctors for Responsible Gun Ownership. We're going to take a look at John Lott today, who's a researcher, and talk about something that's coming up on the calendar. And we've got some people joining us today. So we got a couple of hosts. We got myself from Tucson. We got Angelina joining from California. Thanks for joining. Keep going, puppy. Uh-oh. Well, she found a new place to go. And then we got Gary jumping in from Kansas. Thanks for joining.
Hello. Thanks for the invite.
And Cycle jumping back in from Connecticut.
Hey there. No, to all the people that complained about the video I put up where the guy was grinding off his front sight.
Grinding off his front sight? Off of what gun?
It was a really cool gun. It was a rolling block, a really old rolling block that he's getting ready for the pre-1890 shoot we're having in another week or two. And he needed a higher sight blade. So he had a piece of brass on there, and he had brought a what do you call it, a portable electric drill, battery operated drill that had a grinding stone on it, and he was grinding off the front sight. And it was cool because I had looked up you have those sight things, the sight calculators on the internet that says if you're this far away and your sights are this far apart and you're off by this much, here's how much you have to cut off. So it worked out good. It worked out good for both he and I.
So he tuned his gun on the spot?
Yep, that's exactly what he was doing.
Oh,
and he was with me on the 25-yard line, and then when he got a hitting good on 25, he moved to 100. And I hung around and watched him shoot it at 100 because I just love watching people shoot old guns.
Did you get to shoot it?
Did I get to what?
Did you get to shoot it?
No, he only brought, the foolish guy, he only brought 10 rounds of ammo. He thought he had more made because he reloads his own, and he only had 10, so he had to be very parsimonious with it to make sure he got it sighted in.
Oh, right. Well, foolish guy for sure.
Yeah, it was a real big one, though. It was like a 360 or a 380. The rounds were monstrous. It looked like a 45-70 on steroids. The thing was huge.
Was it loud?
Oh, yeah. It was plenty loud.
I imagine so. All right. Well, we talk about gun topics here. And every day we talk about three things. So before we do that, we'll see what everyone found out overnight since, the whole day's gone by. G-Webs, anything good?
Nope, nothing all that amazing over here.
All right, Gary?
All I did today was go to work. Pretty boring stuff, really.
Cycle camp?
I actually took my amateur extra exam and passed it with flying colors. So I now have the highest level ham radio license you can get.
Oh, that's cool.
And my brother-in-law called me the other day because he's ready to make me some. I have that Webley that I bought in Tulsa that had been shaved so it could use 45 ACPs, with moon clips. But I don't want to do that. So I ordered some brass from Starline, the 45 rimmed, and he's going to make me some special loads for it so I can shoot it. So that'll be the next video coming up. depending on how long it takes them to make it.
That's cool. What do you shoot your videos on, out of curiosity?
I shoot them on my phone.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I have one of those. I went to the store and bought I could get one of those selfie sticks for $1 at the dollar store, and you unscrew the head of it, and it screws right onto a standard tripod. So I can clamp my phone into a standard tripod and use that. Now, when I do on the rare occasions where I do a video where I actually do a picture-in-picture and I show the target at the same time I'm shooting it, I actually do have a really cheap shit digital camera that I got off of eBay for like $15, and that's what I use. But I put it really close to the target, or it won't come out. And I'm always worried how I'm going to shoot the damn thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like that's any content maker's worry, right? I mean, but you're doing action videos. It sounds like you're actually going out there and shooting.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like to watch videos of people shooting stuff. And my thing is, it's boring to watch somebody just pull the trigger on the gun. I want to see the target afterwards.
Yeah.
So if you show me the target while you're shooting it, or you go up and show it to me after, and then I can say, man, that guy's a horrible shot, or wow, what a great job. You know, I like those a lot better. But just to say, bang, 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 it went good, it shot good. Well, okay, I'm taking your word for it. But I'd really prefer to see the target.
Yeah, dude, I think we are kindred souls in the shooting video realm, because that's like what I'm into too. I totally want to. I want to see the outcome.
Yep.
All right. So our first little topic for today is Doctors for Responsible Gun Ownership. I've actually never heard of this before, but I have been browsing the website, and it looks pretty cool in that, like, their headline right here is 2adoc.com will connect patients with gun-friendly providers. And right off the bat, I can tell you that's kind of an important thing, because on the CalGuns Facebook page, I often see people posting pictures from, like, they're bringing their kid to the doctor because they got a cold, and on the papers they got to fill out, it says, like, are there guns in your home? I mean, what does that have to do with a cold, right? So, yeah,
I mean, do they ask them if they have swimming pools? Do they ask them if they have hazardous chemicals or any of that stuff? I mean, you know, come on.
Do you have knives in your home? Do you have, like, a baseball bat in your home? Yeah, I mean, at a kid's, like, unless there's something I'm missing, but so I don't know. But I feel like if you're taking your kid for, like, a checkup, or they got a cold or whatever, that's not relevant information. So why are you asking? And I'm sure it's some kind of weird anti-gun thing, or some kind of way to control something. So yeah, I mean, if anyone knows a real reason for that, let me know. But G-Webs, take your 2A doctor away.
Right on. So Doctors for Responsible Gun Ownership started in 1993. Tim Wheeler, Robert Young, and now John Eden is the guys who are running it. So it's interesting in a couple of ways. First off, they started in 93, which was when the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, was spending a lot of money with an agenda. So unlike a government agency supposed to be tasked with a non-biased, I guess, fact discovery and then reporting so that people can make legislation and decisions based on that, it was proven that they were doing it with an agenda, and all the funding was basically government money being spent on anti-gun research. And once that was proven, I think the NRA, but also with the direction of this group of doctors being used as expert witnesses and knowing the situation, helped defund that CDC spending. And we hear a lot about that, the repercussions of that, at least the echoes of that, or the consequences of that, when they bitch and moan and say that the Center for Disease Control is limited and told that they can't spend on it. And it was literally because they were doing things unscrupulously. They were held accountable, and now that history has moved along and they're not teaching it. I think it's, they're revisionist now. So now they're claiming different, situation from the results of all that. So I think from that angle alone, the Doctors for Responsible Gun Ownership is interesting. But then I've heard them a couple of times because they're usually one of the speakers. Well, at least they're speakers every time I've been aware of the Gun Rights Policy Conference. And they have different interesting aspects that we don't think about. For example, suicide. Suicide's an ugly thing and nobody really wants to talk about it, but it has a lot to do with the gun rights, I guess, realm, all in lots of ways, actually. So the doctors, of course, are involved because they're knowledgeable about that, but also a lot of the anti-gun motivation from California is from this one guy, Dr. Winnemute. He's an emergency room doctor. He's the guy that coined the phrase "Ring of Fire" for the Saturday Night Specials made in LA. And that guy was involved with the Brightco going out of business because they were sued for $4 million, an unprecedented amount of manufacturer responsibility for the acts of a 12-year-old and the those consequences based off of the adults leaving a loaded firearm with 12-year-old having access to it. The doctor was responsible since anti-gun legislation hadn't been effective, thanks to the California gun owners and others. Because anti-gun legislation wasn't effective, they decided to go punitively after the manufacturers, and they started to make some leads there. And these doctors are there to stand as a resistance to that, because if we have just doctors on the other side, it makes it look like we're not knowledgeable and we don't have a valid position when they claim that firearms are like a health risk. So I think the doctors are doing a lot of good over there. They're rational. They're really interesting to talk to. Of course, they're doctors, so they're just good at presenting information. And like I say, they come at it with an interesting angle most of the time. So it's kind of dry at times, but it's almost always got kernels of interesting info that, depending on who you're talking to, it's valuable reference to have, valuable resource to have, knowing that these doctors are there, because a lot of times the antis will be regurgitating some sort of national health issue, like some alleged national health issue because of firearms, and these doctors have great stuff to retaliate against any of those arguments. I've met a couple of them. They're real good guys, and you can hear them. We've got links on Minuteman University. I'll put them over here in the description of the video, and you can listen to some of their, I don't know if they're really TED Talks, but that type of thing, 10, 15-minute discussions on different topics. And these three doctors, at least, that are part of Doctors for Responsible Gun Ownership, have quite a few things online that are firearms related.
Well, I mean, it looks like they have a lot of good resources on their website. So it looks like something that pretty much anyone who's into guns and gun rights and stuff like that would take something away from. So I would encourage a visit to the website for sure.
And that stuff that you talked about too, the sourcing pro-gun doctors, is super nice too, because well, like you say, they're trying to, there are people that are trying to make gun ownership a mental issue or some sort of a societal disease, and therefore doctors are somehow, need to be aware of it, and that's not the only way to think about it. It's certainly not the only way we can go.
I'm also a big fan of giving my money to people who support my rights and stuff like that. So, I mean, I would want to give a doctor who is actually a believer in things similar to I am my money, I guess.
Yeah, seriously, just getting your tooth pulled or like a splinter or whatever, just give it to a doctor that's pro-2A.
Yeah.
My dentist, the gal that does my cleanings and stuff, she and her husband were actually NFA 3 owners, and they had fully automatic weapons and shit. And he was a motorcycle rider like me, and I love going in there because she and I, well, of course, I couldn't talk much because my mouth was open with her hands down my throat all the time. But it was just so nice to be in there. She liked the same kind of music I did, you know, motorcycle, gun shooter. I could say, hey, here's what's going on in my gun life, and I didn't feel embarrassed. You know, it was great. Oral hygienist, that's the word I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's a thing for me. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that's nice. It's nice when, I guess, you support things with your wallet.
So
Anyway,
do they provide any service like telling you what doctors in your area are pro 2A or anything like that, so you make sure and go to the right person?
I kind of brushed over it with their history, but yeah, that's their like modern initiatives and stuff are to have a vetted list of doctors, and they don't keep a database, so there's no database of that they have that's gun owners that needed medical. So they do it with privacy, in other words.
Okay.
All right. So with that, I guess we can move on along to something else. So that was that, and we usually try to come up with a member each day. We don't have one in here, so do we have a member we want to come up with? Do we have a member in mind?
I'm gonna say Vanessa Kitty.
Okay, so Vanessa Kitty's been active in the chats for a while. I think everybody knows her name. I think she's actually been in a chat or two, and I think she's a lot of fun. She's been around in the daytime chats and in the evening chats. She's participated by posting pictures and stuff, so we can, you know, I'll talk about whatever project she's working on or whatever. So, yeah, exactly what we book gun channels for. I'm glad to have her around. Plus, otherwise it'd be a sausage fest without the girls around.
Yeah, it's nice to know there's another lady about.
Probably go off to private rooms and talk about purses and ruffles or frills or something.
Yeah, when any of us have to go to the bathroom, we all go to another hangout where we're in the bathroom together.
That's what I
The
figured.
best part of Vanessa Kitty is that she's a STEM person. You know, she's highly educated and appears to be a very smart gal. And, you know, those are the kind of people we need around, really smart, intelligent people that, you know their way around a scientific calculator and all that other stuff.
No, that's a good point, because we do try to have discussions. I mean, there's plenty of places you can just chat, and we try to have chat with a bit of direction, keep communication pathways open, people with heads on their shoulders that are conscious of Second Amendment issues and stuff, and trying to come up with ways to amplify messages and, you know, keep awareness, you know, keep people as aware as possible. So yeah, I think that's a great, you hit it on the nail on the head there.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about the retired military part. That just adds to that as well.
All right. Well, I mean, I picked a good one. So
Excellent.
that's what happens when women do the picking. So anyway, so for our next trick, what about a daily gun shop? And I noticed that we don't have one in here.
But we have a Gary and a Cycle, so that means
I figured I could pick one.
One of the two dudes to pick the gun shop.
No, I'm gonna pick the gun shop.
All right.
All right. So we do a screen share here. This is somewhere. Am I showing secrets?
Yeah. No, it says Angela's shooting ranges. You're good.
Okay. So let me just find.
Oh, it looks like homework or something. What's going on here?
I'm just trying to find the freaking window, bro. Here it is. What the hell?
Yeah, right off the bat, it looks like they're giving you homework. Is this like typical for a gun shop in California?
Oh, so this is a
form you fill out before you can see the gun shop on the website.
Yeah, this is you gotta fill out your permission slip. I shoot at this range. It actually recently burnt down, but they built it back up. So this is these little Well, we'll look at pictures.
I like how the target stands are already good to go with targets on them. Is this an indoor range or an outdoor range?
An outdoor range, so you grab one of these. I think it's like $6, and then when you the fucking frame, they keep your $6. But yeah,
They give it back to you. Okay, I can handle a $6 deposit if you don't hit the frame.
yeah, if you don't hit the frame or somebody else doesn't hit your frame, because everybody there sucks. So yeah, I mean, they got targets, they got some shirts and stuff. Ammo.
You do not rent firearms.
Yeah, they do not rent firearms. They used to actually be the only place I could find 22 short ammo. So here's the prices on. Jesus, they raised the price.
Is that all day?
Yeah, it's all day.
$20 in California near LA for a day. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much the only outdoor range you're going to be able to go to.
It's like coffee money in California, right?
Yeah, I mean, $20. That's it's a little.
It's like a macchiato with a lemon twist. No big deal.
Upside down caramel macchiato. That's my order. Anyway, get some discounts. What else do they do? They got classes here.
You know how long they've been there?
Yeah, 1958, right here.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's actually it's actually in the Angeles Forest, which is kind of like just in the middle of Los Angeles. So sometimes they'll call a ceasefire because there's deer running across the range or up in the hills or something.
I've been to ranges like that.
So, I mean, I always like that because I like to see like the animals. But yeah, it's a nice place.
Very cool.
No,
it's $20 a day. You can be a yearly member? Or no?
I think you can be a yearly member, yes, and then you still have to pay per day to go, but it's just like $5 or something. Here's some other pictures to give you an idea. So these are all this is the rifle side. So it's long range, and then there's steel targets in the back.
Well, it's already nicer than the one we went to with heavy because there's trees at this one. I mean, didn't have any shade at all.
Yeah, this has an overhang too. So there's you get a little bit of shade.
Now, are you shooting north, south, east, west? How are you shooting here? You know?
You're shooting to the east.
So you want to go there in the afternoon, and you don't have to worry about sun then.
It's hot and everything. Oh, see, these people got some deer on the range there. So they call a ceasefire, and then they chase them off in a golf cart sometimes. And here's a little steel range, and back here there's some steel plates. But it's pretty I don't know, it's a normal range. Mix of people. There's the targets. There's the steel.
Oh.
All right, so yeah, that's the gun shop for the day.
Right on.
Cool. Now, do they actually have a? I know you showed that they sold ammunition and stuff. Do they actually sell or lease firearms there?
There's a gun store there now. It's not actually the range though. It's called Angeles Armory, and it's
like they rent space from the place or something.
I think, yeah, it's just in the same vicinity. Like this is kind of like off the beaten path a little bit.
Yeah, if it's on site, that's all that counts.
Yeah, so they got a little gun store, and from what I see, I mean, it looks pretty good. So, yeah, and then they got all these ammo restrictions now. They only sell ammo if you're shooting at the range, up to 50 BMG, no steel core, so typical stuff. They do go around checking your ammo with a magnet.
Wow.
I've been caught once or twice, but yeah. So this is the stuff here. So they got this Silhouette Club, defensive firearms instruction. That's the gun store right there. This More and More Sporting Clays, freaking awesome.
Yeah, your screen right now.
What? Oh, I'm not screen share. Anyway, just showing other stuff they have, but yeah, it's if you're in the LA area, I encourage a trip.
Right, one of the things we forgot to say about Vanessa Kitty is she's also Early Watch Connecticut. So the Early Watch Nation is a bunch of people that are kind of plain zoned. They're in the different states and sending information into the Early Watch project so that people can more easily keep track of what all's happening in Second Amendment areas around the country.
Definitely a team player.
I just added the range to the show notes, so thanks for that. Every day we try to feature a new gun shop, so if you have one you'd like to have us feature, you can email us at dailygunshow@gmail.com. It's one of the goals of having the show on a daily basis. We also like to talk about things like a movie of the day. We don't have one today, so we'll dig into history, and I don't know, somebody want to come up with a movie? I just watched...
There was a movie that had Harrison Ford in it as a young man, and I can't remember the name of the other gentleman. He's pretty famous. It's Force 10 from Navarone, I think it was.
Was he in that one? I think I remember the movie barely.
The other guy that starred in it also starred in The Taking of Pelham 123. He was the bad guy in the original Taking of Pelham 123. And that was a pretty slick movie. I mean, they were they had to go. I think they had a demolition of a bridge or something, and and the other guy, he was also the captain in Jaws.
Oh yeah,
the guy that owned the boat. The older, kind of scraggy guy. But they were both much younger back then, and that was pretty slick. That was a good movie.
Okay, so
lots of military guns and stuff. Really decent.
It says it's a 1978 British-American war film loosely based on his 1968 novel sequel to the 1961 Guns of Navarone. So maybe I'm thinking of Guns of Navarone. That's where they climb the hill or the mountain.
Yeah, Guns of Navarone is where they climb the hill. This is different. This is Force 10 from Navarone.
This would be the, I guess, sequel where they that same group, I guess. Let's see the roles. Okay, so I guess it uses different people for the roles. Guy Hamilton, Harrison Ford, Carl Weathers, Barbara Brock, and Richard Kiel.
Hamilton.
American sabotage unit led by Harrison Ford. They steal a Lancaster bomber. Do some stuff, captured by Germans. Yeah, it looks like kind of a action movie. It's 108.
Shaw, what's his name? Shaw was the name of the guy.
Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw, thank you. That was the name of the British guy that was in it also.
They're sent to find and kill a German spy. And they meet up with these guys from the United States, and they go on an adventure for 2 hours. So I'm gonna have to watch that one. I haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
Because I'm getting it confused with Guns of Navarone. Was Harrison Ford in Guns of Navarone? No.
Guns of Navarone was really cool though, because they had those huge freaking artillery pieces up there on top of the mountain.
And that's a real story, right?
I believe so. I believe it was based on actual events.
Yeah, we'll see if anybody out there saying anything. No.
I've not seen it, but I don't think anyone's surprised.
Gary, have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
All right, well, we're going to have to go with Cycle for the thumbs then.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a two thumbs.
You know?
That's some really good stuff. I mean, it's old, but sometimes fat, old, and slow gets the job done too.
Yeah, I distrust things like the IMDb says 6.4 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes says 58%, but who the
That's
hell?
just because of its age.
Yeah, who's watching these movies and what do they expect out of a movie? So,
Right.
I don't really like the ones. I'm looking at some of the screenshots of it, and is it the kind of movie that's actually like a real movie, or is it like the Brady Bunch set? Hard to tell from some of these pictures.
Oh no! This is a real movie.
Okay, so the
This has a beginning, of a plot, and an end, and
real sets on location and stuff,
Yeah.
not just.
Oh, there's Carl Weathers. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, they must go to blow up this dam or a bridge or something. Probably this bridge. Pictures.
I think it's a bridge. Yep.
Right, let's move. So,
Looks like Bridge over the River Kwai, except that the guys from the outside blow it up instead of the guys that are actually building it blowing it up.
Let's see.
Which is, you ought to put that on your list for the future, because that's an incredible movie with Alec Guinness.
Which one? Guns?
Bridge over the River Kwai.
Oh, yeah, I like that movie. We tried doing the movie on GunTube for a while, and not that many people were showing up. So if we can get more people on a night that, or also just wing it and have that as our list, and add it to the list of stuff for people to pick.
Well, one of the things you talk about with the movie is to get older movies that people just don't see anymore.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. It might be fun.
Us old farts, we know about the old movies. So.
Pickle was asking, is there any movies based on the assault on Point du Hoc? I don't know what that is. Does anybody know that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm looking on the internet. Oh, I guess it's something like that. 100-foot cliff overlooking the English Channel on Normandy during World War II, the highest point between Utah Beach and Omaha Beach. The Germans fortified the area with concrete casements and gun pits. On D-Day, the Army Ranger Assault Group assaulted and captured it, scaling the cliffs. That's not Guns of Navarone, I don't think, though. Navarone is not down in Spain, right?
It sounds like a pretty good film, though.
I don't know if there is a film. I'm just reading Wikipedia about the actual situation, so I don't know if there is an actual film. I think he's asking if there's a film. I do not know. Patriot saying he doesn't think there's a movie, but he knows there's a documentary. Some of the guys actually talking about it. All right. A lot of slap assing going on in the outside chat.
All right. So, what did you say? Slap acid?
Oh, we see Ballistic Expansion is out there. Right on. Good to see you. Coming up on our 5th year anniversary, so stick around. We're going to have all kinds of exciting stuff happening in the next couple of months here. All right, so looks like people, like Midnight just said, he doesn't know any old war movies, so maybe that would be a neat theme. We could take a couple of days out of the week and explore some older movies.
He's just too young.
Some of them are really cool, and a lot of them are easy to find online. When I was before the internet, or before YouTube, I should say, back in the forum days, a whole bunch of them were just available as giant files. Just a big file. These old movies weren't that data rich, I guess, so they could make them pretty manageable and still be, worth watching.
Yeah,
so
that's when a full-length movie was 90 minutes, not just an animated feature.
Yeah, exactly. And there was, it's not the best footage or not the best quality or whatever, so they can just take it from VHS or whatever they took it from. And anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of those out there on YouTube and stuff. There's the John Wayne stuff and all that, but there was a whole bunch of them that were not so mainstream and are really neat.
Oh yeah, Fighting Seabees. Oh my God.
Marion. All right, well.
He's actually been to the bridge when he was in Thailand. He took the tour and the train that it took forever. Pickle was saying that Red Dawn was the first PG-13. Is that true? Yes, it's true. I think there was another movie that got a PG-13 rating, but Red Dawn was the first one with the rating released. The other movie was something stupid and didn't get released.
Oh, Red Dawn trivia.
I was digging through a little bit of the history. I found one interesting thing today. January 3rd or July 3rd is Idaho's birthday. 1890, Idaho, the last of the 50 states, was admitted into the Union. I don't know why that says that, because that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Last of the 48th continental United States, maybe. But if today is actually the date that it was admitted to the Union, then who cares if there's maybe it's some kind of there's maybe more to it because there's a giant paragraph there. But who cares? Idaho's birthday. Congratulations if you live in Idaho. And there's a lot of stuff. I definitely need to get in here and read some of these beforehand. This is the best site ever. Here's Cycle. I don't know if you've ever seen this site. It's from 2005 or something, but ignore that. And just any date you click on is just immense data about what happened today in military history.
Cool.
So in 1996, U.S. Secret Service agents claimed to have broken up an operation by a New York couple used monitoring equipment to steal 80,000 cellular telephone numbers and ID code from motorists on an expressway that passed their apartment building. So you were driving past this apartment building in New York and they were sniffing your cell phone stuff. I remember when that was a thing. You could just buy a cell phone and break it and then sniff everybody else's cell phone info.
Yeah, you used to be able to do that with just regular scanners and shit.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But with cell phone, simple because you'd be on the system. Anyway, that's a lot. 80,000 cellular numbers. I don't know what they were doing with that, but probably nothing good. And that's what the Secret Service was out there doing. I thought they were just to protect the president. I guess they do other stuff. All right, all kinds of other stuff. And then towards the bottom of this same page, they will tell you about how many people were awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. And it's an insane number again today. 1, 2, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A lot, way into the 30s again. So I'm guessing these are all in 1869. So this was another Gettysburg Day, I'm assuming. And
End of Gettysburg was today.
It was the end of Gettysburg?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that explains a lot of them. So that's your day in history. Let's see, we got some other history stuff from our history page. I think. What's going on there? Why is that got an error? Okay, I don't know why that other one did. Today we don't have anything, but tomorrow, 4th of July, and we all know what that is, unless you're one of the people interviewed on the front page today. But it's Jefferson. It's the day that Jefferson died when he was 83 years old tomorrow, and the day that Emil Frenzy was born tomorrow. So I don't know if we'll probably talk about that tomorrow as well, but that's all I got in this calendar. I wonder why this site's down. All right, I guess I won't pay attention to that, and we'll keep going with the show. I think we're about done with our topics, and we're running around an hour. So what do we got coming up tomorrow on the Gun Channels?
Let's see. Have my computer load. All right, so tomorrow's what? 4th of July, Wednesday. I don't know if any of these are still happening due to the holiday, but in the morning, early watch probably. Knives is all will probably be a thing. 7 p.m. Rick's Life as I See It with Rick. 8 p.m. Clovertac is doing The Next Generation. 9 p.m. Never Enough Ammo. And 10 p.m. Eyewitness Fake News with Jelsma Outdoors. Jelsma. And then wrap up your night with the Daily Gun Show, which is the best one and better than everything else.
Well said. So, Gary, Cycle, you got anything coming up?
Nope, nothing that I'm aware of.
No videos on the way?
Nothing that I'm aware of either.
Right on. You guys gonna do anything for the 4th tomorrow?
Oh,
I'm
God,
waiting to
no.
hear from. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm staying the hell off the streets and away from all the people. They usually do a big fireworks show in Hartford, and even though they put up massive numbers of signs and stuff, people on the highway just pull over on the highway and watch it because it's right there on the river, and it's usually a fairly fractious time.
Wow. I'm waiting to hear from my daughter to see whether I'm going there for a day of barbecue and stuff like that, but she may not be feeling well, so I may be staying here instead.
You guys have anybody have a situation where you can see your fireworks from where you're at?
Yeah, I can. Easy.
That's
I can
always-
only see the really high stuff.
What's it like in California, Angelina? Is it massive, massive fireworks everywhere?
Yeah, and it's illegal, so everyone's running around trying to do them in secret. Like in my city, they have like a hotline you can call to rat on your neighbors.
Well, that sucks.
So everyone's ratting on their neighbors. I mean, it's dry here, and we were just on fire last week. So, yeah, I mean, it's probably not a good idea to do fireworks around here, but people will be doing it.
Well, I was thinking more like that over by Sundance. There's so like coming up the highway from Osh's place, and then you take a left and go to your place. There was like a amusement park over there north of the Hollywood sign.
Oh, okay, so I think you mean Universal Studios.
No, but anyway, there's like all kinds of these places, right? Aren't like Disneyland does fireworks every day, right?
Yeah, they do fireworks every day, Magic Mountain Disney.
Yeah, Six Flags and stuff like that.
So I figured you'd have all kinds of giant firework displays like that, where you could just go on top of a hill and start watching fireworks displays all around.
Yeah, my city does one, so you can go watch that. I live on the other side of the city, so I can't see them from here, but I'll see a few. Actually, I'll be night swimming, but you can see a few.
Is there places in California where you can go sit on a hill and just watch dozens of them, though? I would think you could sit on top of a hill and watch them all down in LA.
Yeah, if you go up in the hills, you could go. I could go up like in like where Charles Manson was living. I could go up in those areas and see like the whole San Fernando Valley.
Well, I wouldn't go up there. That maybe is what caused him to go crazy. Seeing too much. Yeah, we've got a couple of places here because we got mountains, and you just go up halfway up a mountain and look out, and you can see everything that's happening. We got golf courses and quarries and just neighborhood that'll have their own fireworks. So if you get up high enough, you can just see all kinds of little displays. It's kind of fun. Pickle's saying he can see 3 different professional shows from his buddy's house.
That's pretty cool.
And then back when I used to live in the flats, you could sit on a roof and see all kinds of stuff. As long as you get like almost over the trees, or at least up to the top of the trees, then you could kind of look around and see them at all the different golf courses and communities and stuff that would have them.
Yeah, when I lived in Middletown, I could watch the Middletown fireworks from the roof of my house, and then I could turn around 180 degrees and watch the ones from the town next to us. So it's pretty cool.
One time I had to work, so I was the manager. We just closed, took the keys, went up on the roof, and watched them all the same way. Just kind of kept turning around and watching different ones as they started up. Seems like a lot of times they'll kind of stagger them too, because they know people are doing that, I think.
Good old fireworks show as well.
That's what 4th of July is all about. And also, I guess, independence from stupid England. So you said you're going to watch it with a bunch of English people?
Yeah, because my dad's family's all from England, so
Do they,
yeah, that's always been the thing. So it's always funny that there's all these, like, everyone's got an English accent, and we're all celebrating 4th of July.
Yeah, Vanessa makes a good point that, you know, some of the vets that have a little bit of PTSD, you know, sometimes the fireworks aren't all they're cracked up to be for those poor people, especially those big loud ones that sound like artillery.
yeah, sometimes you don't realize until you're right underneath them or something, or yeah, they catch you off guard. Like today, I wasn't expecting to start. Well, actually, not today. I kind of figured they'd happen today, but like Saturday, you know, started here. I know I'm like, oh yeah, 4th of July is coming. But yeah, if you're not paying attention and one of them went off. I guess one of the things we can look at, since we like to talk about 2A in closing, if somebody's got a quote, you can get that ready. But all the firearms, fireworks laws are real effective, and they keep people, you know, those laws keep people from buying and obtaining fireworks. So a lot of people are using them anyway. And, you know, we might have a couple of accidents, but I don't know. Hopefully there's some analogies we can use when we're talking to people if we have 2A conversations tomorrow.
I mean, I always try to have 2A conversations, but everyone's a liberal. Of course, all the English are the liberals.
Midnight's asking about Born on the 4th of July, like we do 2 movies in a day. I guess he doesn't understand a movie a day.
Maybe he wasn't good at math.
That would have been a good choice, though.
So did you like Born on the 4th of July? Did you like that movie?
Yeah, I actually did.
Angelina, have you seen that movie?
Of course not.
Gary,
Yeah, I've seen it.
you're a fan of that one?
There's some I like a lot better than that, but it's all right.
Yeah, I don't remember liking it too much. And I don't remember why, but I've only seen it maybe once or twice, maybe once even. It was more of a guy's life story, and then there was some more stuff in it, but it was...
Well, it's a big Vietnam anti-war theme and all that stuff, too, so, you know.
A multi-state illegal fireworks bust. 35,000 pounds of fireworks and 10 arrests.
Dang.
I thought he said show. And I was like, an illegal fireworks show? That sounds cool. How do they do that multi-state?
Let's go.
And that's a crap ton of fireworks.
All right. Anybody have a quote?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Gary.
You got one?
So we'll wrap it up with the quote.
No, you go ahead.
And thanks for everybody for jumping in and listening to our show and being part of it. It is an exploration in the new media, and
Okay, today's quote is from Frederick Douglass. A man's rights rest in 3 boxes: the ballot box, the jury box, and the cartridge box.
That's a good one.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.